In our last lesson, we looked at simplification of surd. In today's lesson, we're going to look at addition and subtraction of surd. Take for instance, you're given root 32 plus root 8. This is addition. You're asked to add root 32 plus root 8. Now, take note. To add or subtract surd, we must first simplify the surd to their simplest or basic form. So, we're gonna first of all express or simplify root 32 to its simplest form, and also reduce root 8 to its simplest or basic form. How do I do it? I'm gonna break this into two numbers, and one of the numbers should be a perfect square. I'm also gonna break this into two numbers, and one of the numbers will be a perfect square. Which perfect square can I multiply with another number that will give me 32? Let's go with 16. 16 times 2 will give me 32. So root 16 times 2 will give me root 32. Okay, now bring down my plus sign. How about 8? I can also break down 8 into two other simpler numbers. 4 times 2 will give me 8. But one thing you should take note here is that this is a perfect square, this is also a perfect square. Now let's break down this further. Let's separate them. So we'll have root 16 times root 2 plus root 4 times root 2. Okay. Now, what's root 16 giving us? Root 16, of course, is going to give us 4. Why? Because 4 times 4 is going to give us 16. Multiplied by root 2. Alright? Plus, bring down my addition sign. What's root 4? Of course, the square root of 4 is 2 times root 2. Okay. So what do we have? 4 times root 2 is giving us 4 root 2 plus 2 times root 2 is giving us 2 root 2. So we can now go ahead to add up these two surd. Take note, for me to be able to add up surd, I must reduce them to their simplest term, just like we have done. Alright, so I can be able to add up this. 4 plus 2 is giving us 6. So I have 6 root 2. So this is going to be our answer. Okay, I know some of you will be surprised. Why is it 6 root 2? Now, this is equivalent to, imagine you have 4x plus 2x. Of course, 4x plus 2x is going to give you 6x. Likewise, 4 root 2 plus 2 root 2 will give you 6 root 2. I believe this is clear. Now, let's try another example. Question number 2. Now, you imagine you are asked to evaluate 7 root 3 minus root 75. Now, how do we go about this? Remember, the first rule is that reduce the given surd to their simplest or basic form. So we're going to pick 7 root 3 minus root 75. Now take note that root 3, we cannot break it further. It's already in its simplest form. But 75 is not in its simplest form. Hence, we have to reduce it to its simplest form. Now, to reduce it to its simplest form, I have to think of two numbers. Now, when multiplied, will give me 75, but one of the numbers should be a perfect square. And what do you think the two numbers will be? 25 and 3. Okay, so 7 root 3 is already in its simplest form. I'm not breaking it further. Minus, I need to reduce this further. 25 is the perfect square. Now, when I multiply it by 3, it's going to give me 75. So, of course, this will be in a square root. Okay, now let's go ahead to simplify. So 7, break down this, 7 root 3 minus, let me separate these two, 25 times root 3. Alright, so what do we have next? We have 7 root 3 minus, of course, square root of 25 is going to give us 5 times root 3. Okay, so what do we have? We have 7 root 3 minus 5 times root 3 is giving us 5 root 3. Okay, this is what we have. 7 root 3 minus 5 root 3. What's the answer going to be? 7 minus 5, of course, is giving us 2. So this is giving us 2 root 3. Okay, so take note. This is equivalent to saying 7x minus 5x. 7x minus 5x will give us 2x. So 7 root 3 minus 5 root 3 is going to give us 2 root 3. In our next lesson, we're going to look at multiplication of surd and rationalization of surd. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.